The Pokemon TCG has thousands of cards that are standard legal, but only the best of the best rise to the top. How many times have you looked at a new Pokemon card and went, wow, this card's great, but the basic only's got 60 HP? Dude, Dragapult's gonna eat me alive. Or maybe something like, oh dude, this attack needs 4 energy? Doesn't even knock out a Raging Bolt. Will cards like these ever see the light of day? Presenting the Comeback Mechanics Summer 2025 Off-Meta Tournament. Limitless check? If it made day 2 of NAIC, it's banned. No Dragapult, no Gardevoir, even no Cynthia's Garchomp. We also chose to ban a couple of very, very impactful Ace-Specs and Trainer cards, but we did choose to leave some very powerful consistency cards legal. Things like Professor's Research, Squawkabilly EX, Team Evolution, some stuff like that. Our early testing also showed that Control would be a prominent strategy. So, in the spirit of fun, we decided to ban these cards as well. I don't want to see you getting trapped in the active spot here. I want to see you do the weird stuff. Who will be the inaugural off-meta champion? Let's find out. All right, y'all, we are jumping straight into round number 1 of our off-meta tournament. The matchup we got here, we have Hector over here on the right, and he is playing Iono. Very cool build, making use of the IONO'S Belly Bolt, as well as things like the IONO'S Voltorb and the Kilowattrel. And then we have Rebecca, who is on the left, and she is playing United Wings. I think this is a really cool kind of way to kick off round 1 of our tournament here. We're seeing Hector kind of play a deck that has never seen the light of day, just didn't prove to have the strength needed to break into the standard meta. And then we see United Wings, a deck that has kind of always been close, has always been on the fringes of play, rogue status at best, and is now finally getting to see some play here. We see that Hector opened on the Buddy Buddy Poffin. We see he's got 2 of the Tandabubs, 1 Watchroll, and then a Voltorb down. So kind of has a lot of the squad out here already. Rebecca has opened on the Murkrow, and she is playing the Flamigo, which has that Insta-Flock ability where when you put it on the bench, can search your deck for up to 3 other Flamigos and put them in your hand. We see that Rebecca only has 2, so one of them is stuck over in the prizes here. If you've never seen the United Wings deck before, very cool, very much in the spirit of Night March and other kind of decks like that, where does 20 damage for each Pokemon that has the United Wings attack in the discard pile here. And we see that Rebecca has gotten a great start here. She's been able to play her A-Spec, the Brilliant Blender here, allowing her just to discard 5 cards from her deck. And we see that she is choosing to get rid of double Watchroll, double Murkrow, and then she's also choosing to get rid of the Dartrix here. The Dartrix is a new addition to the deck from Shrouded Fable. It is now the 4th United Wings Pokemon that is printed, so it is possible for this United Wings attack to do a total of 300 damage here, so quite potent. We also see that Rebecca has a Inns Zeruya down, trying to get that Inns Zoroark set up here. Now, unlike in Standard, we do have a lot of the other Inns Pokemon banned. We don't want to see kind of the standard Inns deck that we're used to seeing, but we do think that the trade ability is just really potent, adds a lot of really nice consistency to a lot of decks. So the Zoroark is legal, but none of the other Inns Pokemon are. You're only going to be seeing Rebecca using that Zoroark to draw 2 cards. We see Big Professor's Research getting her up to, I think it is 8 United Wings Pokemon in the discard pile here, and going to see a Great Ball is going to allow her to pick up the Squawkabilly EX. Rebecca is off to a fantastic start here. Unfortunately, she has not found an energy card yet to get to attack with the Murkrow here. But she was able to pick up that Squawkabilly, so maybe she will be able to do that here. See, the second Great Ball is going to just grab another Murkrow here. So Rebecca doing a great job of getting a lot of the United Wings Pokemon into the discard pile here. The only problem here is that if she uses that Squawkabilly, she is going to have to get rid of 2 Zoroarks here, which is a little rough. And so because of that, she's choosing not to use the Squawkabilly. She's instead just choosing to pass the turn here. Back over to Hector's side, and we see that he is evolving up into the Belly Bolt. The Belly Bolt has that electric streamer ability, which is just Rain Dance. Allows you to accelerate a bunch of lightning Pokemon onto your Ionos Pokemon. And unfortunately, nothing for Hector either. He's just going to pass. And so Rebecca's going to draw for turn. Very nice Ultra Ball here. See, she's going to evolve up into the Zoroark, bench another Zeruya here. And I imagine we're going to see the Ultra Ball probably getting rid of are now first going to trade, getting rid of that squawk ability to draw 2. And she has drawn her second squawk ability plus another Ultra Ball here. So very nice for Rebecca. She is going to get to bin a lot more of these United Wings Pokemon. But unfortunately for Rebecca, she just still has not been able to find a Dark Energy. Seems to be something both players kind of have here. No energy on board yet. A little rough for Hector as well, considering he plays so many. I believe he's playing about 16 of them, quite a bit. And then we see Rebecca is going to grab the Rowlet here. Her deck is on 2 Rowlet and then, of course, 4 of the Dartrix here. Something I really like about the United Wings deck is just its ability to kind of hit weakness into a lot of Pokemon. The Murkrow is able to hit into Dark, Rowlet able to hit Grass, and then that Wattrel being able to hit Electric. So very nice spread that the United Wings deck has, allowing it to hit some really crazy numbers here. And really rough for Hector here. Unfortunately, he's just going to draw and pass. And I see Rebecca has finally gotten the Dark Energy that she needs to start taking some big knockouts here. First off, we're going to see a big trade here from the second Zoroark here, and big Professor's Research, very nice. Going to help Rebecca just continue to spin through her deck here. But she has a total of 9 United Wings Pokemon in the discard pile here, able to get to 180. Not quite enough to knock out this Belly Bolt, but this boss's orders pulling it up is going to be really helpful here. Notably, that Belly Bolt has 2 retreat here, so if Hector is unable to kind of get it out of the active spot here, it's just going to get knocked out on the next turn here. So big 180 down. Good news for Hector. He found a second Belly Bolt here, so he will still have access to his engine here. And unfortunately, we kind of see his hands just a bunch of Ball Search cards. He's got some... some like counter catchers, but it's kind of it, unfortunately. Back over to Rebecca here. She's thinking about what she wants to do. She has that research. It'd be nice to kind of refill the hand here, but currently she only has the 1 Murkrow set up here. And we do see she's just going to Night Stretcher to pick up a Murkrow and put it back down. Unlike the last time that this deck was legal, there is no like double turbo energy here. So being able to attack with the Flamigo or the Wattrel is a lot harder because you have to attach twice to it. So it really seems like the Murkrow and then the Dartrix are going to be your best attackers because they only need to attack for 1. We see that Rebecca's going to play the Great Ball here. She's going to pick up that Dartrix. So Rebecca is going to have a nice steady stream of attackers here for kind of the foreseeable future here. She's going to have 2 Murkrow set up, has that Dartrix set up, and while this does kind of limit the amount of damage she can do because she has a bunch of United Wings Pokemon in play, good news for her is she still has enough to take big knockouts here. She has 8, so being able to hit for 160 is enough to 2-shot this Belly Bolt, putting Rebecca up 2 prize cards here. Hector's going to promote the Voltorb, and we see that he has found some Lightning Energy and is able to accelerate it onto the Wattrel here. We see he's going to bench another Voltorb and then big Nest Ball here. Curious to see what Pokemon he grabs here. Could just probably be another, just going to be another one of that Tandabulb here. And then big Ultra Ball here, getting rid of Ultra Ball Super Rod and going to grab that Kilowattrel. This is really nice. It has that flashing draw ability where you got to discard and Lightning Energy from it in order to use its ability, which is going to be to draw up to 6 cards in your hand. So very, very nice. Not quite Rumbling Engine like you see from that Revavroom, but because of the Belly Bolt, you get to accelerate all the energy into play here, so it's not really much of a cost to discard the energy from it. Going to see 2 attachments to the Voltorb, and the Voltorb has the really cool ability or attack where it does 20 damage for each Lightning Energy attached to your IONO'S Pokemon, so very, very nice here. We also saw that he has counter-catchered up the Zoroark and then big Iono to put him back at 6, put Rebecca down to 4. Now, good news for Rebecca, she has found the research, so very nice for her here. We see that the Lavencia is going to come down here. Really cool Stadium card, allowing Hector to pick up to 2 Lightning Energy from his discard pile every single turn. We really see kind of all the synergies coming together here. The Stadium, the Bellabolt, the Kilowattrel, really able to do a lot of cool stuff here. Back over to Rebecca's side here, and unfortunately, this Zoroark has 2 retreats, so it is trapped in the active spot here. Good news for Rebecca, though, is that she's playing 1 copy of Inn's Castle to try to get the Zoroark out of the active spot here, and she's going to just kind of hope to draw it. Good news is she has the research to draw a fresh 7, and she gets 2 instances of trade here. So she is going to be able to kind of get her hand size up to 9. So maybe she'll be able to find that IONO'S Castle and then get that Zoroark out of the active spot here. Otherwise, you might just have to attach and pass, which would be a little rough here. Looking at her hand, doesn't seem like she has a lot going on for her. Some more Pokemon, some cool supporters. Going to see a big trade. Found the rescue board, which is very nice as well. That can reduce the Zoroark's retreat to 1, and then she can just attach retreat off of the rescue board here. And that's looking like what she's going to do here. Is go ahead and slap the rescue board on the Zoroark. Going to go ahead and attach for turn, and then retreat back into that Murkrow. Trade ability really nice here, giving Rebecca that extra dig, but it's also just another discard outlet to get all of those United Wings Pokemon into the discard. And we see that Rebecca did find the IONO'S Castle here. Going to be nice for next turn. I bet Hector seeing Rebecca do the manual attach retreat might make him feel like he can then counter catch her up the other Zoroark, and in which case Rebecca will have that IONO'S Castle to get out of it here. Going to see a Night Stretcher from Hector. Going to pick up a second Belly Bolt here. Going to evolve up. And so now going to be able to Belly Bolt kind of the rest of the game. And then we're just going to see a big Ultra Ball here. And you see he's going to be picking up just another Voltorb. The Voltorb is kind of the best attacker in the game because it only needs that 2 energy to do that big attack. And then it doesn't really matter where the rest of your energy is. It can be anywhere on the board, and it's kind of fine. So we see, once again, Hector's going to use that Kilowatt Roll, draw up until he has 6 in hand, drawing a clean 5 cards. And he's got quite a bit of stuff going on for him here. We're finally getting to see his deck kind of pick up the pace here. We're going to see that Lavencia getting him 2 lightning energy back into his hand. That is enough to get an attack off here. And we see he's thinking about where he wants to put it. Love this deck, man. The Rain Dance on it is very cool. Just getting to put all that energy into play. And yep, we see he's once again just going to do big counter catcher to pull up the Zoroark here. And then we see he's going to attack for a big knockout. A little bit of an issue here. The Belly Bolt does require 4 energy to attack with its Thunderous Bolt attack. He did have the 4th energy, just put it on the Kilowatt Roll instead. Doesn't seem like either player has caught it though, so unfortunately, just kind of going to have to kind of be, it is what it is, right? Back over to Rebecca's side here. She sees the Great Ball, and she does pick up the rest of her deck here. So Rebecca only has about 5 cards left in deck here. So her deck is getting a little small. It's going to be a little risky to try to go for any kind of draw support here. But good news for Rebecca, she has plenty of cards to work with in her hand. She has a Boss's Orders. She also has that one of Lana's Aid, a really nice recovery card to get back some energy. Now, kind of when you're spinning through your deck like Rebecca's trying to, it's really, you run into the risk of running out of energy cards, running out of attackers. And so having that one Lana's Aid, really nice here. And we see that Rebecca is choosing to go after Hector's support here, bossing up that Kilowatt Roll and then knocking it out. Very, very nice here. Back over to Hector, he's going to bench that Watch Roll. And unfortunately, because Rebecca used the Boss's Orders, normally that drawback of Thunderous Bolt saying that you can't attack on the next turn kind of gets cleared off. So Hector is going to be able to attack with this Belly Bolt. We'll see if he catches that he needs that 4th energy card. So far, he's always had access to that energy. We'll just see if they catch it here. And now Hector is going to play that big Arv in. Going to pull some cool cards, Arv out of the deck here. And I do believe Hector's ace spec here is that secret box. Really nice here. Hector does kind of play all the necessary stuff here to make secret box good. He's got a notable stadium, got a notable item. In that team evolution. Not super relevant right now. We also saw that he is playing that Defiance Band as well. And then, but yeah, just going to pick up that box and the Evo off of the Arvin, and then we'll see where he goes from here. I imagine he's just going to try to get some more energy into play here. He's going to attach one up on that Watch Roll. And then he's got one more that he can kind of move around here. We'll see where he ends up putting it, but he might also want to use that secret box. Hard to know, but instead he's just going to attach for or attack for knockout again. Again, kind of missing that energy, but kind of is what it is. A little scuffed, but you know, we will make do here. Rebecca's going to draw. She's going to trade away that Flamigo, drawing 2. Rebecca is down to 2 cards in the deck, so deck is getting very thin, but she now has 12 Pokemon in the discard pile, so she gets to hit for 240. Big Ultra Ball here, and she's going to discard the Rowlet as well as a Watch Roll. So now she is up to 13. It's still not enough to knock out the Belly Bolt here, unfortunately. She needs one more United Wings if she wants to take the one-hit KO. Otherwise, she might just be having to two-shot this Belly Bolt, which is a little rough here. And then we see off of that Ultra Ball, just a Carmine and a Dark Energy, so not great here. And she is running out of attackers here. We see that, she can attach to the Dartrix, which is very nice, but after that, she's going to be kind of out. Good news, that Lana's Aid is going to prove to be very helpful to her here. And then we're going to see an evolution here from Hector here. Or no, he's going for the Secret Box. Going to get rid of that Belly Bolt. The TM Evo, as well as an Ultra Ball he's thinking about here. Could maybe go for that Boss, but nope, just going to do the Ultra Ball here. And we saw that Hector has that Crisis Punch here. Very cool tool there, allowing him to hit quite a lot of damage here, but only when Rebecca is at that one prize left. Normally you see this in like kind of a gym leader challenge with a Pokemon that can attack twice. You used to see it with the Cramorant back when that was legal, back when Lost Box was legal, but very interesting here. It will help him hit kind of some larger damage numbers at the end of the game if he needs to. And we see he's just going to attach that Defiance Band to the Belly Bolt. And then we're going to see a Night Stretcher to pick up the Kilowatt Roll. Once again, giving Hector access to his draw engine here. Very, very nice. We see he's going to continue to stream some energy into play. And then, big Iono here. Not too bad for Rebecca. We know she's going to draw Dark Energy plus Carmine here. And then that can just get her back into the rest of her hand if she needs it to be. And then for Hector, double Superior Energy Retrieval. And we see he's got that Black Belt. Good news for him, the Black Belt's training isn't going to do too much for him right now because Rebecca isn't playing that many EX Pokemon. And we see he's just going to Superior all that energy into play. And then he's going to use that big Kilowatt Roll to draw up. And he's got quite a few energy in play here. He gets to kind of just swarm the field with energy, which is really nice. It's allowing him to hit really crazy numbers with the Voltorb, but it's also allowing him to kind of just always have his next attacker set up. Because good news, that Voltorb does not need to discard energy from itself in the same way that like a Shinpao would, right? So yeah, we see once again, Hector has everything kind of set up here, and going to see a big retreat into the Voltorb here, and that is going to take a big knockout on the Murkrow, which is nice for him. And we do kind of see that if Hector can find a boss's orders, he will be able to kind of knock out the Zoroark on his next turn, which will win him the game here. So we see he is just going to accelerate some more energy into play, using that Levincia to pick up some more electric energy. And they're going to see a big attack with the Voltorb, tying up the game here, both at 2 prizes remaining here. Rebecca is at 2. If she can find a boss's orders, she will be able to knock out the Belly Bolt for game. We are going to see she's digging for it. Big trade, getting rid of that Carmine. And unfortunately, did not find it here. She does have the Dark Energy, so she can attack with the Dartrix. And we are going to see she's just going to use that Lana's Aid here to get some energy and or some Pokemon back here. Really, really nice. Especially at this point in the game, we see that Rebecca is kind of low on resources here. And she does just get to kind of put them straight back in the hand. So yeah, just going to pick up one more Murkrow, and then probably going to pick up some Dark Energy here. Yeah, going to pick up 2 Dark. And so now Rebecca is going to be able to attack for the rest of the game here, right? Slap on the Dartrix. And then if Hector does not have Boss and he's forced to knock out the Dartrix, then Rebecca can just attach to that Murkrow and clean up the game here. So it's going to be very interesting to see kind of where we go from here. Just bang, big knockout on that Voltorb. Going to put Rebecca down to a single prize card here. Hector's going to push up the Voltorb, and let's see, can he find the boss's orders here? Or Counter Catcher even does it as well, because Rebecca is now up on prize cards here. We see Hector's just going to start off with the Levincia, getting those energy cards back into his hand, accelerating them into play. And then going to bump the Levincia for Artisan. And then he's going to use that Kilowatt Roll to draw some more. Will he find it? He found the boss's orders. And I do believe he has enough energy here to take out that Zoroark, which should give Hector the win here for game 1. Oh, he even gets to use the Crisis Punch to kind of guarantee that he gets to take that knockout here. So bang, big game 1 over to Hector. Now, You may be used to us doing Gym Leader Challenge where this would be the end of the video, but because this is kind of a formal tournament here for the standard format, we are doing a best of 3 series here. We really want to give each deck the opportunity to shine. The players spent a lot of time crafting and building these decks, buying all the cards that they needed, and we would hate to have them just get donked, not have their deck do what they wanted it to do here. So we are going to be shuffling up for game number 2 here. And we kind of saw both decks do their thing here. Hector had a bit of a slow start, but it kind of proved to not matter that much once he was able to get set up. The big tanky HP of that belly bolt at 280 proved to kind of be enough to help Hector make up for lost time here. The United Wings deck, very potent single prize attacker archetype here, but playing that Zoroark did give Hector some kind of easy targets for those boss's orders. And then for Rebecca here, you know, she kind of needs to hit almost all of her Pokemon in the discard pile, right? I think everything except for 2 is what she needs if she wants to be able to hit that 280 number, which is a little tough considering you need to put United Wings attackers into play here. Then we see that Rebecca opened on the Rowlet. She has chosen to go first. Makes a lot of sense. She is playing 4 of Carmine here. So she does get to kind of spin through her deck should her hand be good. And we see that she's once again been able to open that Flamigo here. Really nice, getting to use that Instaflock. And unfortunately, yet again, one of the Flamigos is prized here. So just going to pick up 2 off of that, and let's see what she has in the hand. She has got some Carmines, so very, very nice here. We see she's going to go ahead and attach to that Rowlet. And then just going to see the Carmine here to reset the hand, which is very, very nice. She gets to discard quite a few United Wings Pokemon already. I believe it is the third Flamigo was already in the hand. Got it. So Rebecca now has 3, and she is going to draw a fresh 5. If she can find the Squawkabilly, she may even be able to keep spinning more so. And we see that could be the case. Bench of double Zeruya, and then the Great Ball. Let's see if she can find Squawkabilly, or even something like a Zoroark for next turn would be really nice here. And we do see the Zoroark here, so while she did not find the Squawkabilly, not going to be able to continue churning through her deck here, she is just going to kind of find some consistency for next turn. As we saw, Rebecca is kind of out of supporter cards here. Going back over to Hector, very nice. He found that TM Evolution and then Big Arven to find some very good cards here. We see he's going to go for Secret Box plus the second TM Evolution here. This is going to be awesome. This is going to allow him to kind of find that Artisan, find the Buddy Poffin, and we see he's already got an energy in hand. Oh, but he's just choosing to discard it here. Going to get rid of 2 energy and an Evo here. Could be signaling to me that Hector might be thinking about grabbing the Lavencia as his stadium card here. Yeah, going to get rid of 2 energy and that Evo. So let's see what he grabs here. I imagine Poffin just has to be the item card here. The tool probably just going to be that Defiance Band. And yeah, he's going to grab the Lavencia here. It makes a lot of sense. And I guess the question is, what supporter will he grab here? Yeah, indeed, going to get the Defiance Band. Probably an Arven, maybe, but he could grab something like Iono if he wants to disrupt. But just going to instead grab another Arven. Wants to make sure that he can kind of stream those item cards together here. Probably needs to find something like an Ultra Ball to then keep the train moving here just a little bit here. So he's also got that Superior Energy Retrieval in the hand. So Hector has just quite a bit of options available to him. And he's just going to grab that Tandabulb as well as the Watch Roll off of the Poffin. And then Lavencia to pick up those energy. Going to slap 1 on the Voltorb. And then I think it may be evolution time here. So yeah, Hector gets to go up into Belly Bolt as well as the Watch Roll. So Hector now has his engine set up. He's got his Rain Dancer a little bit. You know, that electric streamer. Really love the pun on that, by the way, you know, because IONO in-game, you know, is a live streamer, and so, you know, but stream, you know, like a flow. Anyway, gonna get his engine set up here. Very, very nice. And then just gonna see a pass over to Rebecca here. And good news for Rebecca here. Hector spent his first turn setting up, so if Rebecca can find the Dartrix, she will be able to get an attack off here. So very nice. Let's start off with this Great Ball and see what she finds. And she does find the Dartrix. Very nice. So Rebecca will be able to get an attack off this turn. She will be able to knock out that Voltorb. And so Rebecca gets to kind of initiate the prize trade here. So very, very nice for her. And then really tough trade decision between Night Stretcher and the Super Rod. Chooses to instead kind of get rid of the Super Rod here. And then she's going to bump that Levincia for the IONO'S Castle. Very nice, giving that Zoroark free retreat. And then, unfortunately, she does not have enough for knockout. That's only 60 damage here. So that Voltorb is going to survive with 10 here, which is a little tough. Hector is going to Nest Ball here. Going to try to find himself some more Pokemon here. He's going to grab the second Voltorb. Very, very nice. And unfortunately, we do know that Hector has quite a bit of electric energy in the hand here. So he should be able to get a knockout on this Dartrix here, which is a little rough. And then, yeah, big Iono here. I love it. We're playing the Iono deck, and we got the Iono. So very, very nice. Which also, fun fact, if you did not know, the card is pronounced Iono. You know, kind of a little portmanteau of I don't know. It's not quite Iono, but it seems to be what everybody's calling it anyway. So we see that Hector's going to slap down the rescue board on the Kilowattrel, and then he's going to think about using that ability, going to let him draw until he's got 6 cards in the hand, that flashing draw. So very nice. Kind of keeps Hector's hand nice and full, which is nice because he kind of gets to do the thing that Shinpao used to do a little bit where, you know, you accelerate all your energy into play. Your hand size is really low, and then you get to use that support Pokemon to draw back up here. And unfortunately, gonna hit only for 60 with the Voltic Charge here. Only has the 3 energy in play, so even though Rebecca kind of missed here, good news for her is that Hector did as well. And then big Ultra Ball coming down here, getting rid of 2 more United Wings, giving Rebecca up to 5. So she is going to start taking some big knockouts here. Going to see a bench of the Murkrow. We see the second Zoroark coming down, and then another Great Ball. Allows her to find that Dartrix. Once again, just another Pokemon Rebecca is trying to just toss into the bin here. Really love how streamlined this United Wings deck is. Even though this deck has kind of been struggling a lot in current standard format, the consistency just isn't quite there the way it used to be. Most notably, this deck doesn't have access to a Ditto the way that it used to be. So you have to be attacking with the United Wings Pokemon every single turn, and you don't have any good double energy, so your attackers are a lot more limited. You don't really get to make use of that the weakness box the way that you would like to. And so, but good news for Rebecca here. She's just going to draw a bunch of cards, and then she is choosing to boss up the Kilowattrel and knock it out, trying to take away Hector's draw engine here. She sees that Hector's struggling to find the energy cards that he needs, and so she thinks that by taking out that Kilowattrel, she can really slow Hector down here. Bad news for her, though. Hector does have the Night Stretcher, just going to get that Kilowattrel back, and she has turned on Hector's Counter Catcher now by taking a prize card. And we see that Hector is going to Nest Ball for that very powerful Fezandipity EX here. Going to allow Hector to draw 3 cards since a Pokemon was knocked out last turn. The bad news for him, though, is that he has put this 2 prize Pokemon into play that is very obtainable for Rebecca to knock out. She just needs to get 11 Pokemon in the discard pile here, and then she can be knocking out the Fez. She's going to bump that IONO'S Castle for Artisan, and then counter catcher up the Zoroark. Really rough here. We are seeing kind of the downside of playing this Zoroark engine here is that it's an easy boss target, both in the fact that it gets caught in the active, but also in the fact that it is a 2 prizer, allowing Hector to kind of catch back up in the prize trade here. And we see that's kind of what he's going for here, using that Arven to get Superior as well as Defiance Band, which is on because of that prize card Rebecca took last turn here. And so let's see, he currently only has 1 energy in the discard pile, though, which is kind of rough, but that is going to be 4 energy in the 4 energy in play, which should get Hector up to 2, 4, 6, only 80, unfortunately. But he can just discard it to draw some more cards, which is really nice. Just going to draw fresh 3, and he saw an energy card here. So again, still only at 4, not a ton here, even with the Defiance Band. Not going to be enough to knock out this Zoroark. That is going to give Rebecca a little bit of time here. Yep, just going to be hitting for 80. So very possible that Rebecca, and she has the rescue board already in hand, drew the energy for turn, and so she will be able to retreat the Zoroark, go back into the Dartrix, and then gets to take a knockout on this Voltorb here. But she might not be done yet. She has Professor's Research, just going to discard another Murkrow, as well as some other cards in her hand. Notably, she is playing 2 copies of that she's only playing 1 copy of Gravity Mountain here. Really cool stadium. Makes it where the stage 2 Pokemon get minus 30 HP. was talking to Rebecca about her deck, and she was expecting a lot of slacking EX. And so being able to reduce the HP of that slacking, she thought would be really, really important. And then just going to big Ultra Ball here, going to grab another Dartrix. Just once again, getting plenty of United Wings Pokemon kind of ready to go. And she has that Earthen Vessel. She can't even discard it. So very cool. Up to 10. So going to be hitting for 200 damage currently with United Wings. See, she's only going to grab the singular Dark Energy here. So going to be able to kind of continuously set up some attackers here, right? She can attack with the Dartrix this turn, and then we'll be able to attack with the Murkrow next turn. So very nice for her. And now she is up 4-6. But once again, we saw that Hector has Counter Catcher in hand already. So he is going to be able to take out this Zoroark on the bench probably here. Probably. It's going to depend on if he can find enough energy here. And we see he's just going to Super Rod 3 Lightning back into the deck. Probably signaling that he's going to try to use something like a Research this turn, maybe. Not planning on using that Lavencia to pick up that energy here. And then let's see what he does here. He is just going to Counter Catcher up the same Zoroark. The tough part here, though, is that if he fails, if he is unable to knock out the Zoroark here, Rebecca just needs to attach and retreat. And we know that Rebecca has that Lightning Energy in the hand already, or that Dark Energy in the hand already. We see Hector is going to use that Kilowattrel to draw some more cards. See, he found Arven, and he has found some more energy cards as well. Then he's going to use that Fez, going to flip the script here. And we see it's kind of worked out for him. He has found plenty of energy. He's got 2, I believe, in the hand, which is now going to allow him to hit for, 60 energy, or 60 damage, I believe. No, he's just going to retreat. Oh, he's going up into the Belly Bolt. Very nice. Going to try to use the Belly Bolt's attack here. That big Thunderous Bolt for 230. And we see, he's going to pick up some more energy cards here and going to put all 4 on the Belly Bolt. Seems that for game 2, we did realize that we needed the 4 energy to get to attack here. So Hector is going to knock out that Zoroark here, and he is going to tie up the series here not the series, tie up the game here, both at 4 prizes. Rebecca draws, finding a Great Ball. And she is running very low on cards in deck. I see the 6 in her hand. Plus, I think there's only 3 cards in deck. So she's down to 9 cards total now in deck. So deck's getting pretty small, and the game still has lots of game to be played. And we see by Rebecca's board state, she cannot one-hit KO this Belly Bolt, which is really rough. So she's going to need to try to find her copy of Boss's Orders, or trying to find something like the Counter Catcher here once she fails to knock out this Belly Bolt this turn. We see she's just going to attach to the Murkrow. Very nice here, getting her next attacker set up. And then, just big United Wings for 220 damage. Not quite enough to knock out this Belly Bolt, but good news is that as long as Hector kind of cannot boss KO this other Zoroark, Rebecca should be able to win the prize trade here. Gets to 2-shot this Belly Bolt, while Hector takes a 1 prize knockout on this Dartrix here. We see he is just going to hard retreat this Belly Bolt because that Thunderous Bolt's attacks condition. Belly Bolt can't attack this turn. But good news for him here is that, he's got the energy and he's got the Lavencia just to pick that energy that he discarded right back up. Able to put it on the Kilowattrel, able to put it on this Voltorb. He's going to be able to kind of do the thing, dump his hand, and then draw some more cards here. See, he's using that Arven now, searching the deck, looking like he's grabbing that Ultra Ball. Or no, going to grab, that Switch, as well as Crisis Punch. That Crisis Punch we see is very, very helpful to knocking out Zoroark exactly, because has that 280. And then we're just going to see big knockout with the Voltorb here on that Dartrix. So now Rebecca is up to 12. So notably, she can one-hit KO the Fezandipity here. So if she can find Boss's Orders, or at this point, she can even find Counter Catcher. And this is kind of rough for Rebecca. She has a lot of her recovery cards in her hand, but that's kind of it. She has the Research, which she might want to play, but the problem is that if she does that, she's just going to kind of be out of things to do. And great news, that trade has found the Counter Catcher. So Rebecca could choose to either knock out the Fezandipity, or could choose to pull up that Belly Bolt and knock out the Belly Bolt here. We see she's going to play Lana's Aid, going to pick up that 1 Murkrow plus 2 more energy cards. Very nice here. So Rebecca's going to set up her next attacker. She now, I does not think, no, she does. She has enough to knock out this Fezandipity. She has 11, which will double to 220. So very, very nice here. Oh, we also see, I didn't notice this, she has the active pre-release promo Murkrow. Very cool. Love to see the fancy artworks here. And then, yeah, big counter catcher, going to pull up that same belly bolt and then just going to knock it out. Rebecca choosing to kind of value getting that energy out of play here. And notably here, that was Hector's only belly bolt. So now Hector does not have access to that electric streamer ability here, but looks like we're going to remedy that pretty quick here with the Ultra Ball. Getting rid of that Kilowattrel, which I do believe is the pre-release Kilowattrel as well. Very cool. We love to see it. And then, yeah, just going to pick up another belly bolt here. So, just like that, Hector now has his board reestablished here. Now, notably here for Hector, he's at 3 prizes. So his path to victory here could just be Voltorb knocking out this Murkrow and then trying to go boss plus Crisis Punch to knock out the Zoroark EX. And then that should get him there before Rebecca is able to. But Rebecca, if she can just find her boss's orders, she can boss up this Fezandipity and win the game here. So it's really going to come down to what does Rebecca's turn look like. We know she doesn't have it in hand, and she has 1 trade to find it. But her deck is looking pretty thin, so could realistically happen here. We see Hector's going to do his little dance here, going to draw some cards with the Kilowattrel, then draw some cards with the Fezandipity. And he kind of has everything he needs here, and bang, just Voltorb, knock out the Murkrow. And let's see if Rebecca can find what she needs here. Big draw for turn. It's Carmine, so we're going to see attach for turn. We could see if she goes for... Oh, and I see that we are in time as well. I see that the little turn marker is being put on. I believe it is turn 2. At this point in time, we are using the old time rules here, where it is the +3. So we're going to see Rebecca Ultra Ball for the Rowlet. I don't think she has access to boss's orders here, which is kind of rough. And we're just going to see Murkrow take a big knockout on that Voltorb. And let's see if Hector can piece together the rest of the game here. He has to boss that Zoroark. Otherwise, that is going to be the end of the game here. Then we're going to see a big, seeing the 3 energy. I think we're going to see that superior energy retrieval, most likely. Nope, she does have the boss. He is going to be able to knock out that Zoroark here. He's going to accelerate some more energy into play with that Kilowattrel. Big Crisis Punch. And I do believe Hector is going to pick up the win here, knocking out the Zoroark. Nice big win over United Wings here. Very, very nice for Hector. And that is going to do it for the first round of the Comeback Mechanics Summer 2025 Off Meta Tournament. Be sure to keep tuning in. We have plenty more games to show you. Plus, we even have our top cut as well. You are going to get to see the winner here over the coming weeks. But let me know what you think of the Off Meta Tournament in the comments below. What deck do you like to see? What's a card that you wish could be seeing play? But for now, my name is Cody Hope, and I'm going to be signing out.